Hello and welcome. This is Christine of Kyanite Psychic Services, and today I'd like to talk to you about the nature of free will as it relates to psychic or intuitive readings. This is a subject that I definitely care about, and it's also kind of a follow-up to the video that I made of how to prepare for a psychic or intuitive reading. I was thinking about, you know, why people might get nervous before a psychic reading, why I've gotten nervous before psychic readings, what the number one reason might be. And when I thought about it, it came to me pretty clearly that it's because, people are worried about getting information about their future or about what's currently in their field that they do not like, right? Something either that's the opposite of what they want, or, they could perceive as scary, etc. Right? So say you're in a psychic or intuitive reading and somebody tells you, the reader tells you that something will occur, or there's something in your energy field, certain situation, circumstance, and you do not like this information. Can you change it? I'd like to say you absolutely can, right? We as human beings have free will, and it is so important to remember that. We're all powerful, active creators and participants in our lives. So if there is something that comes up in a psychic reading that you do not like, especially that has to do with the future, I want you to know that you absolutely can change it. So as a psychic reader, I can say that we read from the vantage point of the present moment, the moment you're right in the reading with you, right? We're reading, the current energy field of a person, but also looking at, when you're looking in the future, timelines or pathways, right? Anything predictive, that's all seen from the vantage point of the present. And from one particular vantage point at that. I'd like to, think of it as I'm viewing the path of least resistance, meaning if I'm looking at a future timeline or pathway, I'm looking at the timeline or pathway that's in front of me. If, you change nothing and you just keep moving forward. So again, path of least resistance, lies straight ahead, just keep doing what you're doing. That's what I'm reading, right? So for example, it comes up in a reading that you're going to buy a car tomorrow. And I tell this to you, and you have no intention of buying a car tomorrow. You love the car you have. It works great. It's pretty much new. So why would you do that, right? And there could be many reasons why that might come up in a reading. But since you receive this information, you don't like it, you can change it. How could you change it? Well, you could not go to a car dealership tomorrow. You could not look at any car apps on your phone tomorrow. You could also avoid driving tomorrow so that you don't, encounter any unfortunate circumstance where your car would be damaged, right? So there are all these steps that you can take to just take a hard left and change that pathway because you have free will, right? I also think that it's really important, to examine why you might be getting information that you do not like, right? So that's also really important. And that's twofold. On one hand, you might be getting information that you do not like, especially about your future, because it's the kick in the butt that you need to make some changes. So Spirit might be telling you something because the only way for you to make changes, say you're a bit stubborn, some of us are, like me, and you, the only way you're going to make changes is if someone tells you that, down the line, they don't, they see something and you don't like it. So for example, if I'm doing a career reading for you and you ask, how long am I going to be at my current job? I look at the timeline and I say, oh, 2 years. And then, you don't like that information because you were asking me because you hate your job and you want to know how soon am I leaving. Perhaps I told you 2 years because it was the necessary kick in the butt that you needed to update your resume, to start your own business, to apply for some other jobs, right? So you may, have gotten that information because it was the impetus that you really needed in that current moment. The other hand, the other side of the coin, is looking at information that you do not like and seeing if you don't like it because you're in some sort of resistance. So, for example, let's pull up career readings again, right? Say I'm giving you a career reading and it comes up that you're going to completely change your career in the next year. And that terrifies you. You don't want to change careers at this point in your life. You feel like it's too late in the game, whatever it might be, right? It just terrifies you. That is not what you wanted to hear at all. And it's important to look, well, why? Why? Because you might be in resistance to change, right? There's some fear in your energy field and, blockages that need to be removed so that you can make some necessary changes. And maybe on the other side of said career change would be a life that is so much easier, more beneficial to you, or maybe you'll meet someone that, like a future partner or a future, close friend through this career change that have a huge impact on your life, right? So sometimes, we don't like the information that we get because there's resistance, and it's a signal that resistance really just needs to be removed, right? So those are some other sides of the coin that it's helpful to consider. But overall, it is so important to remember that we have free will and that we're powerful creators, right? So never lose sight of that in the psychic or intuitive reading space. So I hope that this little discussion was beneficial to you and it resonated with you. And for all this, if you feel inspired to book a session with me, you can do so through the links that you find below. And I am wishing you all the best in your journey ahead. Thank you.